learning about integration and how we as youth could benefit, on some of the things going on in the Yala as an institution, but also how do we get more, Congolese youth mostly to join this movement and help advance the region of East Africa community as a whole.
The sexual reproductive health bill is pertinent to major issues concerning sexual education, issues concerning reproductive health, issues concerning the rights of people generally, inherently rights such as abortion, rights on segregative mothers, and
what is the rules of procedure. They hear that word for the first time when they are in parliament. And I remember during the times of Toji Kwatako, when we were amending the constitution, the president was saying members of parliament should be given more 2 years to make 7 years a term, so that they can first spend like 3 years running procedures and business of parliament, how it operates. And then after those 3 years, they can deliver for 2 years, and then the election comes. But now we have the greatest opportunity as youth leaders that we get to know about this before that time comes. We got to know what happens in parliament and how. So when we are here, first we are guided by the rules of procedure of parliament. Something strange or outside that will not be tolerated. So we have a setting of parliament and a feeling of parliament. So you're most welcome. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank you for sparing your time and accepting our invitation to be part of this parliament. But also to congratulate you for being selected among the many youth leaders around to be part of this parliament. Because we are very few, we have to be like 40 or 35 to 40 members from 13 districts, with a variety of youth leaders who would like to take this opportunity. So we request, one, we're going to be guided about the rules and the points to rise and something. But as you're here, one, every colleague you're seeing is a honorable member of this parliament. And the word parliament comes from a setting where we all, one is a person with high dignity, highly respected. So we expect that setting and that feeling. When you're talking to any colleague here, please kindly address them as a honorable member of parliament. So my name is Enoch Kamanzi. I'm the executive director of Genius Generation Agenda. Genius Generation Agenda is a youth-led organization, non-government organization, that is partnering with other organizations to particularly organize the Busoga Youth Parliament. So I'm here in that capacity as an organizer or the lead convener of this parliament. And I want to take this opportunity again to welcome you, but also I am serving as the clerk of the National Youth Parliament, the National Youth Parliament, which is running. I'm the current clerk of the National Youth Parliament. So you're most welcome. We are going to start off very soon, and we are trying to make sure we don't waste time. We are going to be fast. When we start, we expect the maximum discipline in the house, but also to deliberate on the issues. You already have the order paper. You know the topics we are going to discuss. This time I shared this order paper 2 weeks or 3 weeks to Parliament. So everyone got a chance to read what's there and prepare to submit. Our views that are submitted here do not stop here. These youth, these issues are taken to Parliament of Uganda and they are discussed, and all resolutions we get in these parliaments. So we don't just discuss and stop it there. We work with the Parliamentary Forum on Youth Affairs. This is a forum that brings all youth members of parliament in the country. So we work close with them that all our resolutions here must be submitted to them and must be tabled on the floor of parliament. All our issues for the past parliaments we've had have been tabled to parliament. So don't just discuss for the sake, just know your resolution will be taken to parliament and will be considered. So we are going to have some few speeches, go get breakfast, come back and start business of parliament. So I want to take this opportunity. To officially announce that we are going to start our session. This is just, I was just saying hi to make sure we are at par and know what we are going to be in. So let us officially start our session. I'm going to welcome any volunteer to come and give us an opening prayer. If you feel like your spirit is already telling you, I want to do it.
Good morning, honorable members. Let us humble ourselves and we pray. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amen.
Thank you so much. The lady is approving to be more religious than we the gents, and it's understandable. Even if you go to worship centers, you will see what happens. But you're most welcome. We have now officially started our session. Let me take this opportunity to welcome the program's manager of Faraja African Foundation, Miss Shalom Nahura, to come and give us remarks. You're most welcome. No, colleagues, we can clap as she's coming. She's our boss.
I normally tell the team this stand is not friendly for some of us. Good morning, everyone. My name is Shalom Nawira, Programs Manager at Faraja Africa Foundation, but I also cross-cut as a Program Officer in charge of governance and democracy. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming here, and I would also like to thank you all for looking smart. You are really smart. First, I would like to tell you why Faraja and why are we here. Faraja is a youth-led organization. You'll notice that most of us that are here are actually young people. We are in between the ages of 18 to 35 and all that. I don't know, even sometimes in Uganda the youth can cross to 40. So Faraja supports youth. Sorry, guys. Faraja supports youth participation in the decision-making processes. This is done by creating functional platforms for young men and women, like I said, our age gaps. Issues here are discussed and are taken to the floor of parliament, and they're taken further for implementation. That is how we come about drafting order papers, petitions, and all that, so that we can have something tabled for action. If you notice that most sittings don't have the youth engaged, the senior youth are the ones out there, and our voices are not captured. Issues are cross-cutting. As we speak right now, we have gone through most of the regions, and this is normally rotational. Issues affecting Jinja don't affect Mbale. Issues affecting Mbale don't affect Gulu. Issues in Gulu don't affect Pakwach. It's really dynamic. So what happens is that we get these issues collected together, and then we are able to put them forward, and then we're like, this is what is affecting the youth. And in regards to the International Youth Day, this is how we are able to take action on what is actually challenging with us. On that matter, I would like to first of all thank our partners. We're not working alone, as you can see. He called himself the lead mobilizer, but he's actually our partner equally. We have Genius International, we have Hummingbird, we have Vijana Corps, we have Action Aid, we have GIZ, and also we have the European Union. And one of the things I would like to advise you on is that leadership does not start only from here. Leadership starts from home, in your community, at the district level, at the national level, and at the regional level. When you're at home, what type of person are you? You shouldn't just wait to come sit here and talk and then go back, and then you're like, you go back to being an ordinary man. You should be going back to being something different and to be able to advocate for change in your own home and in your own community. So I urge all of you to try to avoid as much as possible politicizing this space, because we are working for you and you're working for us, and we're working together, and we're trying to make sure we all come to a common goal, which is the change that we want to see for ourselves. So please feel free to express yourself as much as possible. Go out there, speak your heart, speak your heart, be eloquent, be able to articulate your issues. And keep in mind that this is not a political space. This is a safe space. As you can see, we have no SFC out there or soldiers or something. But be able to express yourself freely, and then so that the team can be able to capture these ideas, and then we can be able to have these issues discussed. So I don't want to take much of your time. I'd like to wish you all a very great day and an amazing discussion. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shalom. I think we are all on the same page of why we're here, and I hope everyone is here, is ready. One, please let us try to keep our phones in silence. Unnecessary movements in and out, like decorum, right? But also in Parliament, usually clapping is by, not by this, right? So we can try to adopt that. So now we are going to first have our breakfast, so that people come with energy and do. So we are going to have our breakfast for only 30 minutes. Yeah, the breakfast is ready outside here. Only 30 minutes. Take tea and everything, and immediately come back. We're going to come back, and we shall start with the election of the speaker. So let us go out, get our breakfast, 30 minutes. By 11, we are expected to be back here. Thank you so much.
Faraja Africa Foundation and her partners organized the East African Youth Parliament in 2018, following the establishment of the East African Community, which comprises of 7 member states, that is Burundi, Rwanda, Kenya, South Sudan, Tanzania, Uganda, and the recently added Democratic Republic of Congo.
Well, my name is Abdullahi Lugome. I'm first speaker of East African Youth Legislative Assembly. When you talk about the East African Youth Parliaments, and since I was the first speaker, I traveled all the 6 countries by bus. I met, a lot of young people. I got a big connection with them. So that's really inspired me that what am I going to do after finishing being a speaker? So being a partner was the first thing I was looking to partner with Faraja and continuing supporting young people. And actually, we did it. We started advocating for the post-parliament agendas.
The East African Youth Parliament, also known as the Vijana Assembly, is a platform that provides young people with a dedicated space to participate in regional governance, advocate for youth issues, and contribute to the development and integration of the East African community.
What sparks your participation in the East African Youth Parliament?
Okay, I'm passionate about East Africa. I'm a Pan-Africanist, and I love having that nationalism, especially East African, like how they say Africa is our business. To me, East Africa is my business.
An important thing to note about this year is that for the first time we have DRC on board, and Chris is not only the representative from DRC, but also the clerk for the 5th East African Youth Parliament.
I've learned so much from them, and one thing is for sure, the future of East Africa, as one of the honorable said, is in safe hands. Learning about integration and how we as youth could benefit, on some of the things going on in the YALA as an institution, but also how do we get more, Congolese youth mostly to join this movement and help advance the region of East Africa community as a whole.
The sexual reproductive health bill is pertinent to major issues concerning sexual education, issues concerning reproductive health, issues concerning the rights of people generally, inherently rights such as abortion, rights on segregative mothers, and all those, without forgetting menstrual health and hygiene.
When we look at East Africa in general, we are really blessed with abundant resources, especially agricultural resources. But the agricultural resources are not utilized economically and sustainably in East Africa. And that's why I raised that motion to urge the young people to really engage in the agricultural business. So we need to understand, especially the young people, they need to know that agriculture is the backbone of Africa in general.
We started advocating for African Charter on Democracy, Election and Governance, but also we were also advocating for South Sudanese to enter to Tanzania without paying visa. In that time, it was just like recently they were entering to the community, and still the young people from South Sudan, when they came to Tanzania, were entering by paying visa. So also we advocated for it, and that was the best practices.
In a nutshell, the EAYP aims to have young men's and women's voices in the critical decision-making processes from national to regional legislative processes, inspiring a coordinated regional governance framework while being the key enablers of change. The East African Youth Parliament, also known as the Vijana Assembly, is a platform that provides young people with a dedicated space to participate in regional governance, advocate for youth issues, and contribute to the development and integration of the East African community.
This is majorly a learning place. The more we present ideas here, we are grooming a leader.
This East African Youth Parliament occurs every year in November. It brings members, youth from member states, the 7 member states of East Africa, that is South Sudan, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, DRC, Rwanda, and Burundi.
I see myself as the place that I feel I can speak for my people. Like our country is among of the country that is in the integration of East African community. So as I'm here, I see myself as a representative for others who didn't make it here.
The East African Youth Parliament being diverse, being a body that, or a platform that
gathers different youth from different countries, 7 of them from the 7 member countries. Then when we talk about inclusivity on my own side, I just look at how do we bring everyone together? How do we get to harmonize their voices?
Faraja has been doing this for the past 6 years, and we can see that there have been some improvement in each and every year that we come for the sitting. First of all, it's the choice of the motion. Second of all, it's the choice of the people who participate in this youth parliament. You can see that the youth are eagerly and are very much willing to air out their views, and they have researched what they are saying. They are not just here for propaganda or just speaking out of nowhere.
This is my first time actually attending the 6th East African Youth Parliament. I got to learn a lot, getting together as youth, discussing what we're facing and being able to navigate and being able to discuss our problems and how to go about them.
During the proceedings of the 6th East African Youth Parliament in 2023, young people engaged in substantive discussions encompassing a spectrum of motions aimed at fortifying governance structures within the East African community. The motions included fostering the economic integration of youth, advancing initiatives related to sexual reproductive health, promoting regional peace and security, and advocating for heightened environmental sustainability within the EAC.
Motion number 1 was about implementing the East African integration and its governance. Now that, for me, it has been delayed a lot. I feel like it should have been done yesterday, and the fact that we had opportunity to discuss it here, I think maybe we shall be able to steer it. We were speaking about how the governance of East African community can take place very quickly. Now, I feel if at all this region is governing itself as a region and not just like countries, we would save lots of monies in administration.
Within this assembly, the youth formulated several recommendations and issued a collective appeal to their respective governments and authoritative figures, urging concerted efforts to better the well-being of the populace in the region.
Of course, yeah, I agree 100%, just because East Africa is people, and among the people it is, there is a big percentage is youth. So it is all about the activity that the integration is about us. So we have to take part, we have to take a role in order to make this integration be beneficial to everyone.
Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, Congo, all of them have embassies in most of these countries. But if at all we were one region and we have just one governance, we would have one embassy. And that all that money that is being spent in about 7 embassies, that would be just one. But also lots of things that are being different. We could pick what is better in Tanzania, pick what is better in Uganda, Kenya, and all of it is together. We are only picking the good, and we have one government of many good things.
My experience was quite amazing, meeting people from different countries, exchanging ideas, engaging and debating as well.
Today, I must say I'm elated, I'm grateful and happy for being newly elected as the Speaker for the East African Youth Parliament. It is a great mantle, it is a big office, and all I can pledge is to work hand in hand with all the different speakers from all the different East African states that have their speakers, to have us work together and put together the different resolutions.
Of particular significance was the acknowledgement that inadequate governance stands as a formidable challenge confronting East African communities, thereby exacerbating more intricate issues within the region. Consequently, the youth underscored the imperative of instituting good governance as a fundamental measure, asserting that this represents the inaugural stride toward effecting positive transformations within the East African context.
The same challenges they have announced, they have been complaining, the same complaints they have are exactly the same challenges, the same complaints that we have as ELFI. So it's a pleasure for me to really to announce it officially that we'll have to find a way to work more closely than this youth parliament.
Whenever issues of young people are not spoken out by young people themselves, they don't necessarily get audience.
This being the 6th edition of the National Youth Parliament, organized by Faraja Africa Foundation.
Yeah.
As always, the drill is you have the regional parliaments where youth get to deliberate on various issues. So how were the regional parliaments of this year?
Well, quite interesting. They were bigger compared to last year. Remember, because last year we still had COVID, that was, sketchy. This time around, we had bigger numbers and we had wider participation.
This year's Central Regional Youth Parliament has been an interesting one, where I've had young people come together and deliberate on issues that are actually pressing us.
We are given those spaces to exercise and also give out our views to those local governments. We will cry and cry and cry until Jesus comes back.
So far, this is the first youth parliament I've attended. Physically, I had attended the virtual one in 2021, but it has been a beautiful experience. A lot of brilliant people to meet, seeing the youth passionate about the matters of the country.
I think each year that gets by, the youth parliament becomes more interesting and it gets better. It's a very enriching experience to see young people debate on pertinent issues that affect them in society. It's a blessing to tap into their cups of wisdom because, they give us a fresh feel of what is going on at the grassroots, where we might not be able as leaders to reach on a daily. So young people's advocacy, strengthening the youth voice, is a platform that we really need to fully utilize, and the youth parliament offers it on a silver platter.
The question the youth are asking out there, how do you choose this member of parliament to come on the floor of parliament?
Okay, for starters, it is always a competitive process, that is for a fact. But in the competition, we look at leaders, young emerging leaders, who have hands-on skills, who have done something, and we also give a lot of consideration to the leaders from the grassroots, because given our development approach, we're using a bottom-top approach. I don't want to lie to you that I'm going to go and pick someone that has been in power for some time, that is exposed already. No, we want that person who has not been here one time, or that person who is able to talk, who is able to speak. And of course, while we're doing that, we consider special groups, I'm talking about the PWDs, I'm talking about the special groups. We're looking at the women, the young mothers out there, and that person who maybe didn't finish school, but they're trying to make it out there. So it's not like we don't want everyone to participate. I also have to have regional balances. We want each and every region.
I was so inspired by the sessions. When I was cheering, at some point I got lost in my head. I said, imagine this was the real parliament, because the people were really respectful. Under my guidance, I managed to imagine in 30 minutes, 18 politicians speaking to the point. That was special, and we need to improve this, keep on going with this. Now, one day is not enough for everyone to understand the content of the motions. We tried, but we can only try. So this has inspired me. I want to really talk, say, okay, what are the chances? Can we see, is there any chance that we could keep on these conversations? Maybe even if it's quarterly. Because this crowd, if they have another chance to debate, they'll just get better and better and better.
So the issues that were carried out from all these different regions were put together. And of course, we use the whole problem analysis sort of method to come down to the motions that we've discussed today in the chambers.
During the event, we had 3 motions, but one of the most outstanding motions that really that really touched me was the motion on cattle rustling in the eastern part of Achule sub-region and Karamoja. This is something that we have been talking about. We tried all angles, and when this thing was brought, and I believe what we brought out here will again spark fire on the government to at least act.
Traders who have handed over their guns to the government, you would find that they have been promised that maybe we are going to give you these livestock and other things to do. Because what the Kejongs knows, most of them, they know about only cattle keeping. There should be an alternative of other things so that they don't go around and killing people, taking away the cattle. They should know that without keeping the cattle, we can also survive on our own.
It is not only about the cattle raids that is taking place. As I speak right now, families are leaving their home as early as by 5 p.m. to go to seek for a refuge in one of the nearest places that they feel it's a bit safe. One of them being churches, institutions like schools, just that they can comfort themselves in. Because these cattle raiders are no longer only taking cattle, but they're also killing people.
Well, the issue of climate change and then in relation to also agriculture for the young people, that one is very directly related to the young people because climate change and agriculture eventually evolve into a reduction in the quality of life that the young people are living. And if young people cannot live a certain quality of life where they can have their basic needs and all that, it can set grounds for other challenges to rise, especially community-based challenges.
We've had a discussion around land, and this has been a very big challenge where we have people have been losing their land grabbers. We've had people owning miles and miles of land in this place because of the different bureaucracies that rotate around land, lease, non-lease, but we've actually come to discuss this as young people because in the long run we are all affected. These are areas of settlement, these are areas of habitats where the young people are living and actually trying to earn a living. Having agriculture as our background, the young people here are actually doing a lot of agriculture on this land. Others are rearing cows and others are planting crops. So having the young people come to discuss on these issues that are affecting them, especially the land issue. The land is rotating around economically, socially, and in all ways the land is important to the young people and it is a resource to us.
Then for service delivery, it was mostly on medical interns and boosting the education of the country. And then for National Youth Council, we were of the view that we as youth, the budget should be boosted since we see that in this financial year, it was decreased from 4 billion to 800 million.
So many issues within the health sector. I would point out that the government should really invest in the preventive measures, especially when it comes to cancer. Cancer has been a very big problem for the country. Looking at the women who have the breast cancer being the highest in the country. So if we have preventive measures, we will not lose a lot of money having to borrow from World Bank and all these other countries.
The greatest challenge that I identified is research. You see, when you are invited for the National Youth Parliament like this, you should come well equipped with knowledge, with information on what you are going to debate about. You notice during the debates in the House, there were a lot of challenges. People were challenging each other on information, on falsehoods of speaking this and that. So it is very important that moving forward for the future, young people should always invest their time to research about the issues that they come to speak about. It only does not distinguish them as prominent leaders in the future, but it also substantiates debate better for policy shaping.
The theme is in line with our International Youth Theme Day. It's about green skills. So we are trying to advocate for climate change. We also incorporated better livelihood. You know, climate affects us in every sort of way.
Green skilling is one thing that we need to push across the divide. Not only young people, but young people are the center of it because we are the drive to sustainability. If we have the young people of today each acquire a green skill, then you can transcend it to another young person. And a green skill does not require a budget. It could be the basics of just protecting your environment, being cautious about environmental degradation, seeing how best we can have as many young climate change agents as possible.
For the two motions, the first one was on climate change. That is something very urgent. I'm personally going to take it to the Ministry of Water and Environment. I already have a meeting with the Commission of Climate Change.
Wow, you're already working.
Yes, we already. I have a meet, not in my office, but as an individual.
Wow.
So with the guidance of Faraja, I should be able maybe to try and table some of these things. There are opportunities to train young negotiators on climate change. Personally, I negotiate for government on climate change. I was in Germany last month doing that work. There's COP. So all these are training opportunities. We must table them, especially the climate change thing, and continue with the conversation. We are not implementers, but we have to push, learn how to lobby our agenda.
The issue of climate change and then in relation to also agriculture for the young people, that one is very directly related to the young people because climate change and agriculture eventually evolve into a reduction in the quality of life that the young people are living. And if young people cannot live a certain quality of life where they can have their basic needs and all that, it can set grounds for other challenges to rise.
The best solution to charcoal burning is a subsidization of the alternatives. If government sees fit, then they should subsidize electricity.
With the big theme of green skilling of the youth, this addresses the core issue of my generation. We have big population of the youth, not guided, without any meaningful skills. That is why they go into forest and cut everything down for very temporary need. But the big issue is, as legislators, we shall take it upon ourselves that going forward, when a bill comes into the floor, we need a certificate of environmental responsiveness and also bias on the youth so that every agenda actually affects the youth.
To the organizers, this is a very good platform for the young people to express their views, and I hope that once these resolutions are taken high up to the ladders, feedback can be brought back to the people who initiated the conversations, and they can understand how their submissions fed into the national policies that are formulated.
Faraja Africa Foundation and her partners organized the East African Youth Parliament in 2018 following the establishment of the East African Community, which comprises of 7 member states, that is Burundi, Rwanda, Kenya, South Sudan, Tanzania, Uganda, and the recently added Democratic Republic of Congo.
Well, my name is Abdullahi Lugome. I'm first speaker of East African Youth Legislative Assembly. When you talk about the East Africa Youth Parliament, and since I was the first speaker, I traveled all the 6 countries by bus. I met, a lot of young people. I got a big connection with them. So that's really inspired me that what am I going to do after finishing being a speaker? So being a partner was the first thing I was looking to partner with Faraja and continuing supporting young people. And actually, we did it. We started advocating for the post-parliament agendas.
The East African Youth Parliament, also known as the Vijana Assembly, is a platform that provides young people with a dedicated space to participate in regional governance, advocate for youth issues, and contribute to the development and integration of the East African community.
What sparks your participation in the East African Youth Parliament?
Okay, I'm passionate about East Africa. I'm a Pan-Africanist, and I love having that nationalism, especially East Africa. Like how they say Africa is our business. To me, East Africa is my business.
An important thing to note about this year is that for the first time we have DRC on board, and Chris is not only the representative from DRC, but also the clerk for the 5th East African Youth Parliament.
I've learned so much from them, and one thing is for sure, the future of East Africa, as one of the honorable said, is in safe hands. Learning about integration and how we as youth could benefit, on some of the things going on in the Yala as an institution, but also how do we get more, Congolese youth mostly to join this movement and help advance the region of East Africa community.
And sustainably in East Africa. And that's why I raised that motion to urge the young people to really engage in the agricultural business. So we need to understand, especially the young people, they need to know that agriculture is the backbone of Africa in general.
We started advocating for African Charter on Democracy, Election and Governance, but also we were also advocating for South Sudanese to enter to Tanzania without paying visa. In that time, it was just like recently they were entering to the community, and still the young people from South Sudan, when they came to Tanzania, were entering by paying visa. So also we advocated for it, and that was the best practices.
In a nutshell, the EAYP aims to have young men's and women's voices in the critical decision-making processes from national to regional legislative processes, inspiring a coordinated regional governance framework while being the key enablers of change. The East African Youth Parliament, also known as the Vijana Assembly, is a platform that provides young people with a dedicated space to participate in regional governance, Faraja Africa Foundation and her partners organized the East African Youth Parliament in 2018, following the establishment of the East African Community, which comprises of 7 member states, that is, Burundi, Rwanda, Kenya, South Sudan, Tanzania, Uganda, and the recently added Democratic Republic of Congo.
Well, my name is Abdullahi Lugome. I'm a first speaker of East African Youth Legislative Assembly. When you talk about the East Africa Youth Parliament, and since I was the first speaker, I traveled all the 6 countries by bus. I met, a lot of young people. I got a big connection with them. So that's really inspired me that what am I going to do after finishing being a speaker? So being a partner was the first thing I was looking to partner with Faraja and continuing supporting young people. And actually, we did it. We started advocating for the Parliament agendas.
The East African Youth Parliament, also known as the Vijana Assembly, is a platform that provides young people with a dedicated space to participate in regional governance, advocate for youth issues, and contribute to the development and integration of the East African community.
What sparks your participation in the East African Youth Parliament?
Okay, I'm passionate about East Africa. I'm a Pan-Africanist, and I love having that nationalism, especially East African, like how they say Africa is our business. To me, East Africa is my business.
An important thing to note about this year is that for the first time we have DRC on board, and Chris is not only the representative from DRC, but also the clerk for the 5th East African Youth Parliament.
I've learned so much from them, and one thing is for sure, the future of East Africa, as one of the honorable said, is in safe hands. Learning about integration and how we as youth could benefit, on some of the things going on in the Yala as an institution, but also how do we get more, Congolese youth mostly to join this movement and help advance the region of East Africa community as a whole.
The sexual reproductive health bill is pertinent to major issues concerning sexual education, issues concerning reproductive health, issues concerning the rights of people generally, inherently rights such as abortion, rights on segregative mothers, and all those, without forgetting menstrual health and hygiene. When we look at East Africa in general, we are really blessed with abundant resources, especially agricultural resources. But the agricultural resources are not utilized economically and sustainably in East Africa. And that's why I raised that motion to urge the young people to really engage in the agricultural business. So we need to understand, especially the young people, they need to know that agriculture is the backbone of Africa in general.
We started advocating for African Charter on Democracy, Election and Governance, but also we were also advocating for South Sudanese to enter to Tanzania without paying visa. In that time, it was just like recently they were entering to the community, and still the young people from South Sudan, when they came to Tanzania, were entering by paying visa. So also we advocated for it, and that was the best practices.
In a nutshell, the EAYP aims to have young men's and women's voices in the critical decision-making processes from national to regional legislative processes, inspiring a coordinated regional governance framework while being the key enablers of change. The East African Youth Parliament, also known as the Vijana Assembly, is a platform that provides young people with a dedicated space to participate in regional governance, advocate for youth issues, and contribute to the development and integration of the East African community.
This is majorly a learning place. The more we present ideas here, we are grooming a leader.
This East African Youth Parliament occurs every year in November. It brings members, youth from member states, 7 member states of East Africa, that is South Sudan, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, DRC, Rwanda, and Burundi.
I see myself as at the place that I feel I can speak for my people. Like our country is among of the country that is in the integration of East African community. So as I'm here, I see myself as a representative for others who didn't make it here.
The East African Youth Parliament being diverse, being a body that, or a platform that gathers different youth from different countries, 7 of them from the 7 member countries. Then when we talk about inclusivity, on my own side, I just look at how do we bring everyone together? How do we get to harmonize their voices?
Faraja has been doing this for the past 6 years, and we can see that there have been some improvement in each and every year that we come for the sitting. First of all, it's the choice of the motion. Second of all, it's the choice of the people who participate in this youth parliament. You can see that the youth are eagerly and are very much willing to air out their views, and they have researched what they are saying. They are not just here for propaganda or just speaking out of nowhere.
This is my first time actually attending the 6th East African Youth Parliament. I got to learn a lot, getting together as youth, discussing what we're facing and being able to navigate and being able to discuss our problems and how to go about them.
During the proceedings of the 6th East African Youth Parliament in 2023, young people engaged in substantive discussions encompassing a spectrum of motions aimed at fortifying governance structures within the East African community. The motions included fostering the economic integration of youth, advancing initiatives related to sexual reproductive health, promoting regional peace and security, and advocating for heightened environmental sustainability within the EAC.
Motion number 1 was about implementing the East African integration and its governance. Now that, for me, it has been delayed a lot. I feel like it should have been done yesterday, and the fact that we had opportunity to discuss it here, I think maybe we shall be able to steer it. We were speaking about how the governance of East African community can take place very quickly. Now, I feel if at all this region is governing itself as a region and not just like countries, we would save lots of monies in administration.
Within this assembly, the youth formulated several recommendations and issued a collective appeal to their respective governments and authoritative figures, urging concerted efforts to better the well-being of the populace in the region.
Of course, yeah, I agree 100%, just because East Africa is people, and among our people it is, there is a big percentage is youth. So it is all about the activity that the integration is about us. So we have to take part, we have to take a role in order to make this integration be beneficial to everyone.
Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan, Congo, all of them have embassies in most of these countries. But if at all we were one region and we have just one governance, we would have one embassy, and that all that money that is being spent in about 7 embassies, that would be just one. But also lots of things that are being different. We could pick what is better in Tanzania, pick what is better in Uganda, Kenya, and all of it is together. We are only picking the good, and we have one government of many good things.
My experience was quite amazing, meeting people from different countries, exchanging ideas, engaging and debating as well.
Today, I must say I'm elated, I'm grateful and happy for being newly elected.
Honorable colleagues, we are requesting whosoever is not yet in and whosoever is not yet seated that we come back and we proceed. We are out of time. So for registration purposes, I was requesting one person per, others sit, one person go register and come back. So you're most welcome from the breakfast. I hope it was nice. And we are going to proceed. I see members are not yet in, all of them, but we are proceeding, right? Yeah, someone told me we should have first left breakfast because people speak well when they're still hungry. I don't know if that is true, that people are now going to start dozing. So I hope we are not going to. So the next item on the order paper is the election of the speaker. For matters of clarity, we are still following the rules, and whosoever is on our register, because I've been sharing that list several times, is a registered voter, is an honorable member, and therefore is entitled to only one vote. And because I've already had some people saying, this one mobilized people, it was part of us. So whosoever was on that list is a voter. Maybe if themselves decide to abstain from voting. So I think that one is clear. Because people are saying mobilizers, are they part of the voters, and so on. So whosoever is on that list, the list that is in the group, I hope everyone knows about it, is a registered voter and is therefore entitled to one vote. Maybe what we're going to request, because some of the organizers, some of you reached out to me and told me some of them have conflict of interest, right? They are saying, so and so may be supporting someone. I said, it's fine. What we're going to do, I think I will request Faraja, because they are the strangers, are the ones who are going to take on this process, right? So that us, me, my friend Claire, Nidal, all these people have been mobilizing, and people thought they are part of the electoral commission, and we have been reaching out to me several times saying, but if this person brought in this person in the group and then they are candidates, are they not going to? So the election is going to be free and fair, and from my side, may the best candidate win. So I'm going to request, humbly request, Miss Edna to come and help us take on this this process of election. You're most welcome. Let us expect calmness and free and fair election. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anuk. Hey, guy, I'm really short. Morning. I welcome you all to this, is it the third? The third sitting of the Busoga Youth Parliament. Ignore the word fifth on the order paper before you. We all thought that Busoga was number 5. That is a technical error on our side. It will not happen again. My name is Edna, and I'm a programs officer at Faraja Africa Foundation. I'm just going to take you through the rules of procedure, just to let you also know why you're here. Tusuri are here is a former, weren't you the first speaker of the Busoga National Youth Parliament? He will also help me from the rules of procedure, but also help me running the election. Okay, before you, this is called an order paper. It looks like an agenda because this is an agenda of the sitting. So I'm going to take you through what this order paper is about. The one who will be using this order paper is the chair, who's the speaker. I think there are quite much, supposed to be only 3 chairs on this table. For starters, not 4. Thank you, Peter. Simon Peter. So these 3 chairs, the middle one will be taken up by the speaker of this session, who's the chair. Then the side ones will be taken up by the clerks. I was talking to Enoch this morning that you guys here in Busoga are very powerful. You have a mess. So this mess is a very powerful tool. At Parliament, whoever has the mess has the power. I don't know if you go to National Youth Parliament, you'll not find a mess there because you cannot take the powers of the speaker. But here in Busoga, they've given you, the speaker is very generous. We appreciate the speaker of Jinja City. So the chair will sit in the middle and the 2 clerks on the side. And the clerk that will be seated on the right-hand side will be the MC. I'm putting in quotes just so that you can understand what I'm saying easily. So the clerk who will be seated on the right-hand side will be taking us through the order paper verbally. What do I mean? You say item number 1 of the order paper is anthems. This very clerk will lead us in the anthems, starting with the national anthem, to the East African anthem, to the prayer. So we have a prayer. Enoch said that he has it. In some regions, we didn't have that prayer, and it's okay, because really we are just learning. This is just a mote. We're just... Okay, this is Richard. He's our sign language interpreter. And we have people online who are watching. He's translating for them, but also translating for anyone that might need his services. Thank you. Before Richard came in, I was saying, let me just do a recap. This is an order paper. The one that's before you is called an order paper. And the clerk, one of the clerks will be using this order paper to lead us through verbally. This is how the clerk will be saying. Item number 1, anthems of the order paper of the... We'll have to edit this order paper and make it 3rd sitting of the Busoga Youth Parliament. If you have a pen near you, you can cross out 5th and put 3rd. Busoga Youth Parliament on Wednesday, 13th July, 2024. And the time of commencement will definitely change because it was supposed to be 9. Whenever the session starts, they will mention the time. Item number 1 is anthems. So the person will lead the anthems, they will lead the prayers. And as per this order paper, we have opening remarks, which Shalom has already given, and remarks from the chief guest. Whenever the chief guest comes, they will give remarks, but they cannot stop the session in the middle for the chief guest to speak. She's here? She's in Jinja? Okay, that is very good. So if the speaker is around when we are giving opening remarks, that will be really, really nice. I mean the chief guest will be present to give opening remarks. Then we'll have election and induction of speaker, which has already taken place. House suspended. We will not have that suspension because of time, but also we'll take the picture later after the session, unless the chief guest really wants to have a group photo with you guys. Communication from the speaker. So the speaker is supposed to thank you for voting them, but also give their house rules. What do I mean by house rules? That we have an order paper and rules of procedure. So each speaker has their own house rules. The speaker can stand up and say, if you're not a woman, you're not going to speak. Those are the rules of the speaker, female or male. Yeah. But I'm saying you should do that. Whoever wins, please don't do it. Don't do it, please. From there, I will actually, when we're out here after the election, I will have to brief them what I think the rules should be. Really, it should be your phones should be in silence, do not receive calls, no movements during the house, participate in the debates, there should be gender balance, please. Females, we are the lesser number here today, but I expect us to represent the females of Busoga. I believe that the less number here today are the sharpest of the sharpest, yeah? So I believe we shall represent the females here. Then we'll go to motions, and the clerk will be saying motion number 1 of the Busoga Youth Parliament urging the government to tackle root causes of rising teenage pregnancies and high school dropouts in the region. Then the motion mover will come and present this motion before the August House, and then the motion will be seconded. So to save time, these motion movers are supposed to have their seconders who they have prepared outside this house. So I hope that if you know that you're a mover, you have your seconders out of this house to save time. Then after the motion has been seconded, the speaker will open the floor of Parliament for debate. No. After the motion has been seconded, the motion mover will have to come back and justify their motion. Where are they telling us to urge government to tackle the rising teenage pregnancies and high school dropouts in the region? Is that really it? Is that what is happening on ground? How necessary is this? Do we need the government to tackle this problem? Can't we do it ourselves? You know, they'll give a justification as to why this motion is actually relevant. Then after that, we'll have the speaker open the floor of Parliament for debate. And here we shall have opposers, I'm using quotes again, opposers and proposers of the motion, debate the motion. Here, please, that is where I request us to be cordial and to not spend a lot of time on the microphone as we are speaking. Let's go straight to the point. But I believe that all of you are sharp. You've made your research, because Enoch told me that you had this order paper for weeks. That's nice. Other people received it that morning. Another thing I would like to mention, that's what you do for all the motions. After it has been debated, definitely there will be people who are against maybe some of the solutions. My advice is that do not leave this microphone without presenting a solution, especially if you're giving an alternative solution. An alternative. If you don't agree with the motion, make sure you leave this platform when you have given an alternative, because we are not youth who are just crying out. We're also suggesting solutions, and those solutions will make up your resolution document, which the other clerk will be doing, by the way. The other clerk will be writing down the resolutions of this house, and at the end of the session, the clerk is going to stand up and tell us the resolution. There's someone who has experience here as a clerk. I called Miriam? Claire, yeah. Yeah, Claire has experience, so I think you'll induct the other clerks and tell them what to do. After the motion has been debated and justified, and then the motion mover will come back and defend their motion, and give the final word, like final convincing of the members. Members, please, I request that we pass this motion because A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay? So after that, we'll have voting. And how we vote in Parliament is not by raising our hands. It is by saying aye or nay. Aye is agreeing to the motion, and nay is disagreeing. Then in Parliament, we don't clap. Enoch already told you, you stamp. Also, we have some persons who are living disability, who do not understand, who cannot hear your feet. So the signal that is accepted, Richard is going to show us how they clap for persons. You give them flowers. Yeah, especially if they're speaking. Actually expect them to speak, because that's why they are here. They're also the sharpest of the sharpest. That's what you do for all the motions. You have 4 motions. So I will guide the speaker on how much time each motion should take, so that we don't sleep here. So that people who are coming from further districts can take their leave early. Now we are going to have, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? One last one. Whoever wants to speak, you have to come here. Why? The cameras are recording you, and the people want to watch you speaking. And when you raise up your hand, make sure you Tell the speaker what you're raising up on. Point of order. Okay, there are only 2 points accepted. 3. Yes, 3. Point of information. Point of information is if someone is speaking and you feel like you have matter to add, you stand up on a point of information. 2, if you feel like the order paper is not being followed, you can stand up on a procedural matter. The speaker can accept or deny that procedural matter depending on how she feels or he. Because it's their house, at the end of it all, a position paper, yeah? So, the points of order are not denied, but may they be few. I believe I'm speaking to a group of adults who are cordial and understanding and are sharp and are organized. I believe that's why you're here and Genius Generation Agenda chose you. Yeah, now we are going to the election. Well, why we are here is not the election, okay? The election is just part of the procedures, but it's not why we are here. We are here mostly to have our voices aired. The other day we had a speaker who was too excited that they were elected. They even got overwhelmed. They couldn't eat. You're just sharing the session. They are stressed. My God, I feel stressed. No, please. It's not that serious. You're just sharing the session, and that's what it should be. Yes, now we're going to have the election, and I'm the presiding officer. I'll be assisted by Simon, and Simon will not be voting. All the technical team will not be voting. Will you be voting? You'll not be voting. Are you going to vote? You're not going to vote. So I request that you don't sit here in the middle here, because this is the voting ground. Daniel, are you voting? You're voting? Okay. Okay, so if you're not voting, I request that let's not occupy this. If you're not voting, let's not occupy this middle part, so that we don't confuse Simon. Well, we are going to do a head count first, so that we can know how many people are here who are going to vote. Number 2, we are going to do nominations. Yes, I forgot to tell you that on the order paper, you can move a motion to amend the order paper. But it's right now, according to what we discussed as partners, this looks like it's a final order paper and it doesn't need amendment. But if you'd like to move a motion for amendment, you should have a seconder. Even then, if you'd like to move a motion to close nominations, you must have 2 seconders for that particular motion. But then also, when you rise up to nominate someone, that person should be seconded by 2 people before this person accepts or declines the nomination. Are we together? Are we together? Wait, wife, is it because of the tea? Wasn't it nice? It was not nice? You're tired? You can take some water. You can take some water, we'll continue. We are here up to about 3, so be energized like the young people, yeah? Yes, so when I open the floor for nominations, we shall have nominations. Well, I know that the nature of this looks like it's political, but it is not, okay? So let us skip all the politics and have a chair who's going to lead us in a way that our issues are going to be heard, okay? There's no political parties here. You're just chairing the session, guys. You're not a headmaster, you're not... Anyway, I will speak to the speaker when they're elected, because I feel like the expectations are those ends, yet really you're just chairing this session. Yes. Thank you so much. Otherwise, we're going to have a verbal head count too. He has counted 33, but we also have a verbal head count because we want you to be part and see the process. Yeah? Because we may count 33 and we have counted ourselves. Or someone who's not supposed to vote, then you say, you've counted that person who's not supposed to vote. You know? Yeah, we want you, when someone loses, they concede very well. They have seen for themselves. So, Honorable, you're going to be the first one to mention. 1. Mm-hmm. You're not voting? In glasses. You're not voting? Are you voting? So you're a caretaker? Okay, can your caretaker first push his chair behind? Thank you. Your what number? You're 8. You're 7? Uh-huh. Great. Good. Honorable. You're 19. Which number are you? 18. You're 19. Okay. We are 34 people, so we'll not be allowing anyone in. Do you have 34 ballot papers? Yes. Okay. So we are now going to open the floor. Do you have any questions? Any questions regarding the election? Yes, Daniel. You are 14. And? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, then we are 30. 33 instead. You've taken note. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Daniel. Anyone else? No? Okay. Right. I open this floor for nominations. Can we have someone to raise their hand? Am I the one leading the session? Yes, please. Can come to the floor. Your name, introduce yourself. Here, come here. Yes. You introduce yourself, the district you're coming from. Here, the cameras have to see her. Introduce yourself, the district you're representing, and the person you're nominating.
Okay, good morning to everyone. Okay, I was just inquiring, are we not going to hear any words from our inspired? Okay, thank you.
So they will have about 2 minutes to campaign after they've been fully nominated. Can we have the first person to nominate? Is everything okay? Okay.
Thank you so very much for this opportunity. You can stand here. I'm so sorry. Thank you. So which way are we going to vote? Is it private or counting? So which way are we going to vote? I just want to know about that. Are we in lines? Oh,
Okay, we are going to have secret ballots. There'll be papers that are distributed for you to write your candidate's name. So it's private. Can we have someone to nominate? I can be the speaker. You're standing up to nominate? Sorry? Someone should nominate him. He can't nominate himself. You cannot nominate yourself. Someone has to nominate you. Does he want to be speaker? But dear, I'm not seeing any hand.
Please raise up your hand.
Please, yes, you're supposed to raise up your hand. I was not seeing any hand. Please, gentlemen. He wants to no, there's someone coming. He wants to run for speaker?
He wants
to nominate some. Let's.
Thank you. Good afternoon, honorable colleagues. It's still morning. Oh, sorry. Good morning, honorable colleagues, once again. My name is James Waivi, and I'm happy to be part and parcel of this Busoga third youth parliament. I'm representing Jinja City. Yes. and I'm here to nominate Gonga Timothy Dalton as the third Busoga Youth Parliament Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we have seconders? Two seconders, please. Very fast. Number one, number two. Who's number two? Second seconder. This microphone is discriminating.
My name is Namtamba Giftriza on behalf of local district here. I am seconding Gonga Dalton Timothy for the speakership.
Thank you, Honorable. Can we have a second person to second Honorable Dalton? Timothy Dalton. Do you guys want Honorable Dalton to be your speaker? Okay, I'm going to raise up my hand. I'll count 5 seconds. If the second does not come, we shall withdraw the nomination. 5, 4. Where is the second? 3, 2. Okay.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Segawa, Trevor Mafia Segawa. I'm representing Iganga District. I'm here to second Gonga Dalton as the third speaker of the Busoga Youth Parliament.
Thank you so much. Can we have Timothy, Honorable Timothy, to come and accept or decline the nomination?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gonga Timothy Daltons, and I'm here to accept the nomination.
Thank you, Honorable Gonga Timothy Dalton has been fully nominated. Can we have a second nomination? I'm not seeing these hands. Yes, please, it's okay.
Okay. Good morning, all of you. Greetings. My name is Sharif. Yes. I'm from Iganga City. Yes. So I just want to nominate a female called. Let's have a name. Called Zahara Mondera. So, yes, because he's a woman, so yes, she's well experienced. She has been a minister. She has experience. She worked for us. Thank you so very much.
Honorable Zahara. Can we have seconders for Honorable Zahara? Thank you so much. Yes, please. Yes. Both of you come at the same time.
Good morning to you, the third Busoga Youth Parliament. My name is Neme Derek, representing Jinja City. I second Mwanda Hazar Mariam for the third Busoga Youth Speakership race. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Namgosa Hanifa, representing Maige District. I'm here to second Honorable Zahara for speakership. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Zahara has been fully nominated. Honorable Zahara, please come and accept or decline the nomination.
Good morning, esteemed colleagues. I, Zahara Maria Mondera, accept the nomination.
Honorable Zahara has been fully nominated. Any other nomination? Yes, please.
Good morning, honorable colleagues. Nambikla is my name, representing the youths of Jinja City. I'm here to nominate Apio Esther as the third Soga Youth Parliament Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nambi. Can we have 2 seconders for Honorable Esther? Are you coming? Are you raising your hand? Okay. Are you coming for nomination? Are you coming second? Please come here. A second seconder, please make your way also. Someone, a second person to second Honorable Esther.
Good morning, honorable members. My name is Mutes Farida from Jinja City. I'm here to second Honorable Apio Esther for the speakership. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Mugabe David, representing Mayuge District. I'm here to second Honorable Apio Esther for speakership.
Thank you so much. Honorable Apio Esther has been fully nominated. Honorable Apio Esther, could you, is that you? Could you come and accept or decline?
Good morning, honorable members. My name is Esther Apio, and I'm here to accept the nomination.
Thank you, Honorable Apio. Can we have more nominations or someone to suggest a motion to close the nomination? No, the other one. Yeah.
Yes, good morning to you all. My name is Natkunda Bridget Diana, and I'm from Iganga District. I'm here to nominate Honorable Kwikiriza Ruth Namno for the speakership race.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Can we have 2 seconders to nominate Honorable Kwikiriza Ruth? Please come. Please, both of you come.
Good morning, honorable colleagues. My name is Wanyama Priscilla, representing Bujiri District, and I'm here to second Honorable Kwikiriza Ruth. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. By the names, I'm Job Mugoya. I'm here to second Honorable Kwikiriza, representing Bujiri District.
All right, Honorable Ruth has been fully nominated. Honorable Ruth, please come and accept. Wow, I love that the candidates are sitting around each other.
Good morning, honorable members. I would love to accept the nomination.
Honorable Ruth has been fully nominated. You're standing up too?
Good morning, honorable members. My name is Mwanda Ronald, representing Mugire District. I propose nomination to be closed. Thank you.
Can we have 2 people to second this motion, please? Please come, please come.
Good morning to all the honorables. I'm Balitume Felix, representing Kamuli District, and I second closing the nominations.
Andrew Bogere is my name, representing Jinja City. I second
nominations to be closed.
Thank you, Honorables. Can we now vote on the closing of the nomination? All in agreement, please say aye. Those who disagree, say nay. The ayes have it. Okay, so we have 4 candidates: Honorable Gonga Timothy Dalton, Honorable Zahara Mondera, Honorable Apio Esther, and Honorable Kwikiriza Ruth, who have been fully nominated. Now we are going to give each of these candidates 2 minutes to, I'll be timing. I know politicians, you like speaking. 2 minutes to convince this small August house to vote for you, okay? Small in terms of numbers, not small in Bitiwa. So we are going to start with Honorable Zahara. Honorable Zahara?
Yes. Well, good morning. My name is Zahara Maria Mondera, and I'm here presenting myself as a candidate for the speakership position. First of all, I would like to quote something and say, the most important days as an individual, it is the day you're born and the day you realize what your purpose is in this life. I realized my purpose. I was glad. I realized my purpose well when I was young. When I was young, I realized that the community that I was living in had vulnerable children, and the community lacked empowerment. Well, I was from a well-to-do family, but in the well-to-do family, we had people that were coming from all over. They would come, but the interaction with us, the well-to-do families, was minimal. Why? It was because the other communities lacked empowerment. But I believe, since I found my purpose earlier as a child, I believe I'm the right speaker for this house. I'm not here to promise a lot, but I would like to tell you I'm the right candidate. I have the profound leadership experience, and I have been empowered through various communities. I've lived with the poor, the rich, and the middle class. I obviously know how to interact with all these people. I believe, as me as your speaker, I'll be the person to speak for you. Please choose Zahara for the speakership position. Choose a lady that will speak for you. I speak for Busoga. I've lived in Busoga, and I've learned to cherish the traditions of this culture. The Busoga culture, I serve the Chabazinga of Busoga, and I believe Busoga region needs a leader as strong as I am, and I also believe that with me as your speaker, I'll be the best choice of the candidate. Thank you so much. Thank you for giving us your time and energy here. I believe I'll be the right person to represent you on the national and probably the East African community. Oh, they told me to get back here, but still to say, I believe if you vote Zahara Maria Mondera, you would have chosen the right speaker and the right candidate. Thank you so much. Please consider me. Thank you so much.
People are passionate, eh? But let's stay on the what? On the microphone, because the people online won't be able to hear you. Okay. Now we shall have Honorable Apio Esther.
Thank you so much. Was gifted. Thank you. Thank you so much. Once again, My name is Esther Apio, an aspirant of the speakership position. Looking at Busoga in general, we are here to discuss issues that are dear to our hearts, issues that we are passionate about, those that we believe that if we are in a house, remember a house is a place where everyone has to feel safe. So as Busoga youth, I urge you, be here, pass motions, deliberate on issues that you feel are going to be presented by your one speaker, Esther Apio, one that is ready to bring agendas that are friendly to youth back to Busoga so that our voices are heard. Because remember, a successful team is a group of very many hands on one mind. So when you trust in Apio Esther, I believe our voices are going to be heard because we do not end here. We go back to the grassroots, look at what is happening. To the girls, be the voice, be the role model. What do you want them to see from you? Be the mirror that the society of Busoga is going to see. So vote Apio Esther so that I urge those in power, those that have the responsibility to make the decisions and to pass policies, because at the end of the day, we need to have parliamentary sessions that are friendly to youth, not once in a while, but where Busoga youth sit and deliberate on issues. Remember, at the end of the day, we as Busoga, the propaganda that is there the propaganda that is out there that has been quoted because of Busoga, we the youth here are the ones that we know the real truth. So trust me with your vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honorable. Now let's have Honorable Ruth.
Good morning, August House. Yeah, my name is Kwikiriza Ruth Namnole. I was born in Kamuli district, but I've been in Bujiri for some time now. I am pleased to meet all of you. I have met many of you online, and I believe we have had a few discussions here and there. However, my point now is to kindly in person request for your vote. I will deliberate on issues here in the House. I have served with mostly the Balunwa Foundation, and together we have done a girl child initiative where we take young girls to school. There's a story in Lubuka where a 7-year-old was raped by a 32-year-old and her uterus was rotting. But here I am to come and tell you that we can deliberate on these issues, come together with the media and influence to see to it that such things do not happen in our region. And also, I hope that with your vote, we shall have one voice. Eidobozi lala, because Busoga okwisanya na amani. Kindly vote Kwikiriza Ruth Namnole, and I will serve you. Thank you.
People are serious. I don't know who to vote. They even campaign in Busoga. Okay, so let's have the only gentleman, Honorable Gonga Timothy Dalton.
Good morning once again. My name is Gonga Timothy Dalton. You know, I always like speaking my name so much because I believe that when someone hear a person's name, for oftentimes it sticks to their mind and they always keep thinking about what the person is going to tell them and the results. Now, as you all know my motto, there is nothing more powerful than the unified voice of the youth. The reason as to why I came up with that motto is because of what is happening in our communities. And that is the reason as to why I came to stand as a speaker for this parliament. Because I believe we are all representatives from where we come from, and working with you guys will help more on what I'm planning to do when I become speaker. Now, one of the points under my motto is networking and collaboration. You know, most of the youths lack that sense of networking. You know, they're always in categories and groups of people that do not befit their values. For example, you might find a youth, maybe let's say this person is in talent, but is busy working with builders, you know? So networking and collaboration will help us identify these youths, yeah? So that we can align them with their goals. 'Cause